So I'll close this for now. Then I'll press open here. And well, let's first rename this to 02. And well, for the 01 file that we want to save here, I can edit that to compare to Revit file. All right, then I'll press open here. All right, Control C to copy it, and then press cancel and go back here in the Dynamo and press new and hit save. Control V to paste and then press save. Alright, now let's close this and then, alright. Now for the name of this one, I just wrote down STR version 4, but I just added the Dynamo to the end. So now I can go over to the Insert tab and press the Manage Links option. Press Add here, and then let's see where the file was. Press back here, and well, right now I have the version 4 open, but I can also select the version 4 link file and add it here as well, because as you know, we can add the earlier version to the newer version. What we can't do is the opposite. So I'll get a copy of the earlier version and then link it in the newer version of the file. Now we just have to wait for the process to be over. And alright, they're linked, so you can see the walls that we've modeled here. And well, let's see what we can do with them. I'll hit VV to open up the visibility graphics menu, and then over under the Revit links tab, make sure this is checked, and the part that we're working with is actually over here, the linked file. Alright, so we'll select these and open up the filters menu, then press check none and only keep the RVT links on and OK. And there we go. Now let's do something else as well. For the file that we've created, we can open up the project parameters here. Now let's see what the it's this one, the transfer element, which we can press modify on. And now we can make sure to check the RVT links under the categories here as well. Then OK. Save it up to this point. And then we can go back to the Dynamo. Now make sure to put the Dynamo on the manual settings in these situations because it will definitely crash. So in the next step, I'll go over to the library and look for all elements in active view. Make sure to put them in 3D view in these situations, and then I can press run. Now the process may take some time. Make sure to eliminate all the unnecessary elements. But this way we can get the list of all of the elements in the project, and then we can use the get parameter tool to get the categories of them as well. So I can add a string here and write category inside of it. Then connect that to the parameter name. Press run, and there we go. We get the list of the categories as well. So now we don't want all of them. We just need an example of one of the names. So in the library, I'll look for list.unique, then connect it to the script here, which gives us one example of each one. Alright, and now you can see the list here. And we also have the RVT links here too. Now for the linked elements, we can go over to the library and look for select dot get document. It's this tool right here which uses the ArchLab package, and we can open it up here. In the earlier versions it didn't have select, it was just get documents, but it's been changed to this in the later versions. Alright, after that I can go back to the library and look for link element dot of category. And then we can open up this tool which uses the bmorph modes package. So open that up and add it here. So our category is the list that we have up here, and then we have the linked document that connects to here. Run, And all right, we get a warning here. So right click on this and put the lacing on cross product option to get all of the possibilities, and it still gives us null. Now let's see where the problem is right now. So the problem here is I've used the docs instead of the instance here. So reconnect that one and press run. And there we go, it's solved. All right, and now we can go over here and use flatten to convert all of these into one dimension. There we go. After that, I'll use the right click to look for elements.id and open this tool up and connect it here. This gives us the list of the IDs, and there we go. After that, I can use the library to look for list.all in this. Open this up here, and then we can connect it to the element over here, and then Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V to copy the element tool, bring it up here, and the all elements that we have over here on the left can be connected to the element over here. Press run and connect these two as well. And all right, there we go. After that, I'll use the flatten tool once again to convert these into one. Let's see, there it is. After that, I can go over to the library and look for list.remove item at index and open this up and connect it to the script. So the index connects to the flatten here, and the list is this one. All right, let me just hit Ctrl S in order to prevent a crash up to this point. Then press run. All right, and here it is. We get a list of these as well. And now we just need to go over to the library once again and look for color.by_RGB. Open it up here. Then I'll also add a code block. So the A here is alpha. So I'll write 100 in the code block and connect it to that. Let's see, after that, put in 255 in another code block and connect that to the R. And then after that, we can look for element.override color by in view in the library. It's this tool right here. We can open that up. The color is connected to this one, and the element connects to the list here. All right, and now we can use right click to open up the set parameter by name tool, and then we can connect the element to the list, which assigns the transfer parameter to the new elements. All right, then I'll add a string here, and we just need to write down the name of the parameter in the string here. Now let's go over to Revit file to see what the name was. It's here under the other section. So I'll write it in the string as well. Transfer elements, and all right. After that, I'll connect the string to the parameter name. And for the value, I can open up a code block and type in 1 inside of it. Now, if you remember, the parameter that we've assigned there was yes or no type. So 0 deactivates the tick of the box, and 1 activates it. So that's how we can work around the true and false here. After that, I'll save the file and press run. All right, and now we can see only the newly added elements have been highlighted here. This can be extremely useful in your projects, because even if you want to compare the older version of the file with the newer version, even in the project that you're working with right now, you can use this method. The same way that we did this in the compare section of the Navisworks contents. Now the project manager can use the Navisworks there, although it also has some options such as saving the views there. But we can use this method in the Revit file to do the same process as well. So now if I select this, we can see the box is ticked. So I'll use the select all instances in project option and make sure to have the box in the active form, or we can select all of the plan at once, because when we create a new parameter, its preset is set on a gray format and it hasn't been defined yet. It's neither yes nor no. So we'll select the parameter here once in order to activate it first, because when it's deactivated, such as here, it can't recognize the option. All right, and there we go. Let's see what we have here. Let's press run in the Dynamo. And I think this hasn't worked yet, the code block here. So we can use a bool instead. So open up the bool here, set it on true and connect it to the value in the element tool. Then we can press run to see if it works or not. All right, put it on false and press run. And all right, we still get a warning. Well, the warning says the name was typed in incorrectly, and that's probably the case here. So I'll select one of these, and let's go about typing in the transfer elements parameter in the string once again. So type it in here, transfer elements. Make sure to type in the capital and small letters correctly. All right, after that we can press run. And there we go, the problem is solved. And all right, this is fine for now. And now you can see the transfer elements parameter and the box which is unchecked. All right, so then we can either connect the code block which is set on 1 or the bool which is set on true to check the box. We can use either option. Press run, and all right, let's see where it went. Is right here, the list of the elements. So I'll save the file up to this point, and this is basically how we can distinguish and we either check or uncheck the elements that we want to convert to another version of the Revit file. And we've basically done all of the process in the demonstration here, and we can follow up the next steps in the next part. So I'll close this as